The puzzle's mysterious origin. The galaxy had always been filled with secrets, but there was one mystery that had puzzled every intelligent species for centuries. It was an ancient puzzle, older than the oldest civilizations, and no one knew where it came from. Some said it was created by a race of beings so powerful that they had vanished into the stars, leaving behind only their creations. The puzzle was said to be the hardest thing anyone could ever solve, its pieces scattered across the galaxy in the most remote places. The puzzle itself was not just a simple game. No, it was more than that. It was said to hold the answers to some of the galaxy's greatest questions. Questions about the origins of life, the future of the universe, and the mysteries of space itself. It was a key to untold power, and for centuries, powerful alien races had tried and failed to solve it. The puzzle seemed to mock them, offering clues that always led to dead ends. It was a mystery no one could crack. But all of that changed when a human child named Alex stumbled upon it. Alex was no different from any other curious child in the galaxy. They were 10 years old, full of wonder, and had a mind that never stopped asking questions. Unlike many of the other children in their small human colony, Alex didn't dream of becoming a warrior or a pilot. Alex wanted to learn. They wanted to know the answers to the questions that kept adults awake at night. One day, while exploring an old abandoned building deep in the heart of the planet Nera, Alex found something strange, a small, intricately carved box. It was buried under layers of dust and debris, as if someone had hidden it there long ago. The box was made of a material unlike anything Alex had ever seen. It shimmered under the light, as though it was alive. There was something about it that felt important. Curiosity got the better of Alex, and they carefully opened the box. Inside, there was a piece of a puzzle. It wasn't just any puzzle piece, though. It was a shining, glowing fragment that hummed with an energy Alex couldn't understand. The moment Alex touched it, something extraordinary happened. Images flashed before their eyes. Alien landscapes, ancient cities, and strange symbols that seemed to change as quickly as they appeared. It was overwhelming, yet somehow, Alex felt drawn to the puzzle, as if it were calling to them. They didn't know it yet, but they had just discovered the first piece of the greatest challenge the galaxy had ever known. Alex didn't tell anyone about the puzzle. They knew that if they did, the adults would just dismiss it as a child's game. But Alex couldn't shake the feeling that there was something more to it. They kept the puzzle piece hidden, studying it in secret. Over the next few days, Alex started noticing something strange. The symbols on the puzzle piece began to shift, as though they were alive. The more Alex studied it, the more they realized that this was no ordinary puzzle. The piece seemed to fit into a larger design, one that could be the key to unlocking something incredible. Alex felt the pieces of the puzzle calling to them, almost like a whisper in the back of their mind. The challenge wasn't just about solving it. It was about something far greater, something that Alex could only begin to understand. But the puzzle wasn't meant to be solved easily. It wasn't just about understanding the symbols. It was about understanding the very fabric of the universe itself. And as Alex began to make sense of the clues, something else began to happen, something that no one could have predicted. The moment Alex solved the first part of the puzzle, they felt a strange energy surge through them. It was as if the entire galaxy had been watching, waiting for someone to finally make progress. And suddenly, the sky above the planet Nera began to change. The stars flickered, and strange lights appeared in the distance. It was as though the universe itself was reacting to the puzzle being solved. The adults of the colony noticed the strange phenomenon, but they couldn't explain it. They had no idea what Alex had discovered. But the alien races, who had long searched for the puzzle, knew immediately what it meant. A human child had done what they couldn't. Alex had taken the first step toward solving the greatest mystery in the galaxy, and that was something no one could ignore. From that moment on, Alex's life would never be the same. The galaxy's most powerful beings, the ones who had spent centuries searching for the puzzle's answers, now knew that a human child was the one who had begun to solve it. They would stop at nothing to keep Alex from uncovering the truth. But Alex was determined. They would not give up. They would continue to solve the puzzle, no matter what the cost. The puzzle was far from finished, but Alex knew one thing for certain. It was just the beginning of a journey that would change everything. The first clue and the mysterious signals. Alex's discovery of the first piece of the ancient puzzle did not go unnoticed for long. In the days following the strange lights in the sky and the cosmic energy that seemed to pulse around the planet, the atmosphere on Nera shifted. People whispered in the streets, eyes turned to the heavens, and even the most skeptical scientists began to question what they had thought to be impossible. But for Alex, things had just begun. The puzzle piece, glowing faintly in their hand, seemed to hum with a strange power. It was no longer just an artifact from some forgotten age. It was alive in its own way, reacting to Alex's touch. Each time Alex focused on it, the symbols on the piece would shift and change, as if they were dancing just out of reach, teasing and inviting Alex to solve the enigma. Late one night, after everyone had gone to sleep, Alex sat alone in their room, staring at the puzzle piece. It lay on the desk in front of them, casting the soft glow. Alex's fingers hovered over it, feeling the hum beneath their skin. A strange sense of urgency began to grow inside them. There was something more hidden within this puzzle, something that would soon be revealed. Alex decided it was time to examine the piece further. They had already tried every trick they could think of to decipher the symbols, but nothing had worked. This time, however, Alex noticed something new. A faint, almost imperceptible line began to form across the surface of the puzzle piece. It was an indentation. No, a crack. And within that crack, the symbols rearranged themselves, forming new patterns. The light from the piece grew brighter as the symbols seemed to come to life. Then, without warning, a voice whispered into Alex's mind, as if the very fabric of the universe had spoken to them. Solve the puzzle. Save the galaxy. The words were clear, but the meaning was unclear. Who had spoken to Alex? Was it the puzzle itself? Or someone else? The voice lingered in Alex's mind, like an echo, as if it had come from far away. They had no idea what it meant, but the urgency was undeniable. Suddenly, Alex felt a tug at the back of their mind, like a force pulling them towards something. They looked at the puzzle piece again. There, hidden among the symbols, was another clue, one that they had not seen before. It was a star-like shape, surrounded by complex geometric patterns. Alex's heart raced. This new symbol was different. It was a map of the galaxy. As Alex stared at the symbol, the puzzle piece seemed to shift again, as though it were unfolding like a cosmic flower. The map began to form in their mind's eye, connecting distant stars, planets, and ancient ruins. The map wasn't just a guide to some far-off treasure. It was a key to unlocking the hidden truth about the galaxy itself. But even as Alex began to understand the significance of what they had uncovered, they knew that they were not alone. The moment the map appeared, a cold shiver ran down their spine. They could feel the weight of eyes watching them, an invisible force observing their every move. Whoever, or whatever, was behind the puzzle was not happy that Alex had uncovered the first clue. Across the stars, the most powerful alien races that had sought the puzzle for centuries began to stir. They had known that someone would eventually crack the code, but they had never expected it to be a human child. The elites of the galaxy, from the warrior species of the Xics to the intelligent and secretive Zranics, were alarmed by Alex's progress. They had tried for so long to understand the puzzle's secrets, but a human, someone so young, was making progress faster than anyone could have imagined. The Xics, known for their strength and military might, were the first to act. They sent an elite squadron of soldiers to the human colony on Nera, determined to seize the puzzle piece before Alex could uncover anything else. They knew that whoever controlled the puzzle would gain power beyond imagination. They couldn't allow a human to get in their way. Alex didn't know it yet, but the galaxy was now watching them. The puzzle was more than just a mystery, it was a weapon. And every alien race that had long searched for it now knew that the only person capable of unlocking its secrets was a human child. Back in Alex's room, the map glowed brightly, showing Alex a route to an ancient, forgotten planet far beyond the reaches of known space. The coordinates burned into Alex's mind, compelling them to act. The puzzle had led them here. Now it was time to follow the map, no matter the dangers that awaited. But before Alex could make a move, the ground beneath their feet trembled. A loud crash echoed from outside. Something, or someone, was coming. The Shix had arrived. Alex grabbed the puzzle piece and ran, the weight of the universe now on their shoulders. They had no idea what was at stake, or what they had just begun, but the puzzle had chosen them. And they couldn't back down. The galaxy's greatest secret was within their grasp. The only question was, would they survive long enough to solve it? The deadly alien forces awaken. The stars above the planet Nera twinkled eerily, as if they were watching Alex's every move. Since Alex had discovered the first clue hidden in the puzzle, strange things had started happening. The skies had shifted, and the galaxy had grown quiet with anticipation. The puzzle was far more than just an artifact. It was a doorway, and someone was determined to stop Alex from unlocking its secrets. It was only a matter of time before the galaxy's most powerful and dangerous races would take notice. The Shix were the first to move. Their fleet of warships descended from the stars, darkening the skies above the human colony. The Shix, known for their ruthless pursuit of power and knowledge, had long known about the puzzle, but they had failed to solve it. Now, a human child had cracked open the first clue, and they weren't about to let that go unchallenged. Alex had no idea how quickly the enemy was closing in. They were in the middle of deciphering the second part of the puzzle when the first explosion rocked the colony. It wasn't a random attack, it was strategic. The Shix had arrived, and their goal was simple: capture Alex, take the puzzle, and use its power to dominate the galaxy. The sound of blaring alarms filled the air as soldiers ran to their posts, trying to defend the colony. Alex's parents, who had always kept their heads low, suddenly became frantic. They had no idea what was happening, only that something was terribly wrong. When they found Alex, their eyes were wide with fear. "Alex, we need to leave. Now," they said, grabbing their child's hand. Alex was too stunned to speak. They had never seen their parents like this before. Always calm, always prepared. But now, the fear in their eyes was undeniable. "What's going on?" Alex asked, holding the glowing puzzle piece in their palm. "There's no time to explain. We need to get you somewhere safe." As the family rushed to the nearest escape shuttle, Alex couldn't help but look back. The entire colony was under attack. The sky above was filled with the thunderous sound of Shix warships breaking through the atmosphere. They were relentless, firing lasers and explosions that sent shockwaves through the ground. The colony's defenses, though impressive, stood no chance against the might of the Shix fleet. Once inside the shuttle, Alex felt the engines roar to life as they sped away from the planet. But even in the safety of the shuttle, Alex couldn't shake the feeling of being hunted. The Shix were not known for their mercy. If they were after the puzzle, they wouldn't stop until they had it, no matter the cost. As the shuttle soared through space, Alex's mind raced. The voice from the puzzle had whispered to them, "Solve the puzzle. Save the galaxy." The weight of those words pressed heavily on their chest. What was the galaxy in danger of? And why was Alex, a child, the one chosen to unlock its secrets? The puzzle's map had led Alex to a distant star system, a place so far from Nera that it would take weeks to reach even at full speed. The Shix fleet was not far behind, and Alex could feel their presence drawing closer. The puzzle piece in their hand pulsed with energy, as though it was guiding them, pulling them toward a fate they couldn't yet comprehend. Suddenly, a message crackled over the shuttle's communication system. It was a warning from the planet's government. Attention all civilian vessels. HFY's forces are engaging in full-scale attacks. All ships are to avoid confrontation and proceed to safe zones immediately. We urge you to. The transmission was cut off abruptly, replaced by static. Then, in a deep, chilling voice, a new transmission came through, one that sent a chill down Alex's spine. Human child, we know you have the puzzle. You cannot hide. You cannot run. The HFYs will find you. The message was clear. The HFYs knew Alex was out there, and they were not going to let the puzzle slip through their fingers. The human fleet had been decimated in mere hours, and now it was just a matter of time before Alex's shuttle was found. The galaxy's most powerful force had been unleashed, and Alex was caught in the middle of it. As the shuttle raced through the stars, Alex's thoughts were consumed with the puzzle. The alien forces were right on their tail, and yet Alex couldn't stop now. The clues were leading them somewhere. But to where? What was the secret the puzzle was hiding? And why did it matter so much to the galaxy's greatest civilizations? Alex's fingers tightened around the puzzle piece, feeling the energy surge once again. This time, the map revealed something new. A warning. A symbol flashed in front of Alex's eyes, a warning that the galaxy's darkest secrets were about to be unlocked, and with them, the power to change everything. Suddenly, a jolt ran through the shuttle. The engines sputtered and then cut out completely, sending the vessel into a dangerous freefall. Alarms blared as Alex's parents scrambled to regain control of the ship, but it was clear that they had been hit by something or someone. "We've been hit," Alex's father said, his voice tight with fear. "We're losing power. Brace yourselves." Before Alex could react, the shuttle was surrounded by enemy ships, HFY's warships, their sleek black forms closing in from all directions. The child's heart raced as the sound of enemy ships drawing closer filled the cabin. They had been found. The HFYs had found them. Alex's mind raced as the shuttle plummeted toward a nearby planet. Their only hope now was to solve the puzzle and unlock its secrets before the HFYs could capture them. But would they make it in time? And what would happen when they solved the final piece? The galaxy's fate was hanging in the balance, and Alex was at the center of it all. The unlikely refuge. The shuttle's descent was harsh. The sudden, violent shake of the ship felt like the very fabric of reality had been torn apart. The HFY's warships had been relentless, their weapons cutting through the darkness of space, sending pulses of energy toward the fleeing shuttle. Alex's heart pounded in their chest, and fear gripped their mind, but they couldn't let it consume them. They had to keep moving forward. There was no other choice. As the shuttle spiraled down toward the unknown planet, the only thing that kept Alex's focus sharp was the glowing puzzle piece still clutched tightly in their hand. The alien forces were closing in, but the puzzle seemed to pulse with an almost comforting energy, as if guiding them to safety. But where? Where could they go when it seemed like the entire galaxy was against them? The shuttle crash-landed in a dense forest on the surface of the mysterious planet. The impact was jarring, and the air inside the cabin thick with the smell of burning circuits and smoke. The emergency alarms wailed in the background, but Alex didn't wait for anyone to give the order to evacuate. They grabbed their parents by the arm and pulled them out of their seats. "Come on," Alex shouted, voice trembling but determined. "We need to get out of here." The wreckage of the shuttle smoldered behind them as they ran, the planet's thick atmosphere making every breath feel heavier. Alex barely noticed the pain in their legs as they sprinted deeper into the forest, the shadows of towering trees closing in around them. Behind them, the distant sound of HFY's warships searching the skies filled the air, and the hairs on the back of Alex's neck stood on end. The HFYs hadn't given up. They were relentless in their pursuit. Alex had no doubt that they would be looking for the shuttle wreckage, but they had no idea that the puzzle piece in Alex's possession held far more importance than they could ever guess. "We need to find shelter," Alex's father said, pulling them toward a thicket of trees. "There's no time to waste." They stumbled through the underbrush, Alex's mind racing. The puzzle piece in their hand glowed faintly, guiding them through the forest as if it had a will of its own. It was strange, but Alex was beginning to feel that the puzzle wasn't just an object. It was connected to something bigger, something that could change the very balance of the galaxy. But it wasn't just about solving the puzzle anymore. It was about survival. The Zhiks were closing in, and the key to the puzzle could be the only way out. As they reached a small clearing, a strange noise broke the silence. It was unlike anything Alex had ever heard. A low, humming sound, vibrating through the air. The trees above them rustled, and from the depths of the forest, a shape began to emerge. It was large and covered in shimmering scales, with piercing eyes that gleamed like twin moons in the dim light. Alex froze. Was this another enemy? Had they walked into the territory of some hostile alien species? The hidden Temple of Light. The creature, which Alex now learned was called a keeper, led them through the dense forest, moving with a grace that seemed impossible for such a large being. It was as though the trees themselves parted for the creature, revealing hidden paths, as if the very land recognized its ancient power. Alex could feel a deep sense of urgency now, a pull from the puzzle that was almost magnetic. They could not ignore the message from the keeper. Unlocking the puzzle was the only way to stop the galaxy's chaos. As they walked, the creature remained mostly silent, its glowing eyes always scanning the horizon. Alex's parents followed close behind, their faces etched with a mixture of awe and fear. They were terrified, but also clearly captivated by the possibility of something far bigger than they could comprehend. The creature's presence was overwhelming, but also strangely reassuring. For the first time since the attack began, Alex felt that they were no longer completely alone. The keeper led them to a clearing at the heart of the forest. At first, Alex thought it was just another part of the planet, another stretch of wilderness. But as the keeper moved aside, they saw it. Hidden behind a veil of shimmering energy, an ancient structure rose from the ground. It was a temple, unlike anything Alex had ever seen. Massive stone pillars stretched up toward the sky, with symbols carved into the stone that seemed to glow faintly in the dim light. The air around the temple hummed with an energy so powerful that it made the hairs on Alex's neck stand on end. "This is it," the keeper's voice reverberated in Alex's mind, calm but filled with purpose. The Temple of Light, the final resting place of the puzzle's heart. Alex's heart skipped a beat. The final resting place. What did that mean? The keeper didn't explain further, instead guiding them toward the entrance of the temple. The stone doors, covered in ancient runes, were sealed shut. But as the keeper approached, the runes on the door lit up, reacting to its presence. The door slowly creaked open, revealing the dim interior beyond. Inside, the air was thick with ancient power. The walls were lined with glowing symbols, and Alex could see images of galaxies and stars that seemed to shift and change as if alive. It was as though the very essence of the universe was captured in this place. The keeper led them deeper into the temple, its massive form casting long shadows on the walls. The further they went, the more Alex could feel the power of the puzzle growing stronger. It was as though the room itself was alive, its pulse matching Alex's own heartbeat. They reached a large circular chamber at the center of the temple. In the center of the room was an altar, and on it lay a pedestal with an object glowing brightly, a large crystal that shimmered with every color of the rainbow. The crystal was unlike anything Alex had ever seen. It pulsed with energy, its light growing stronger with each passing second. The keeper stepped forward, its eyes fixed on the crystal. "This is the final key," the keeper said. "This crystal, combined with the puzzle piece you carry, will unlock the truth of the galaxy's greatest mystery." Alex's hand instinctively reached for the glowing puzzle piece in their pocket. As they held it, the piece seemed to hum, reacting to the crystal. It was as if the two pieces were calling to each other. The air around them grew thick with energy. And for a moment, Alex hesitated. Could they really do this? Could they truly solve the puzzle and unlock something so powerful? But then Alex thought of the Zhiks, of their relentless pursuit, and of the future of the galaxy. They couldn't afford to hesitate. They couldn't let fear control them now. The fate of everything, their world, the galaxy, maybe even the universe, was in their hands. With a deep breath, Alex walked forward, placing the glowing puzzle piece into a small recess in the crystal. As soon as the pieces touched, a bright flash of light exploded from the altar, blinding them momentarily. Alex stepped back, shielding their eyes from the intense light. When the light faded, they looked up to find the room transformed. The walls of the temple now seemed to stretch out infinitely, revealing a holographic map of the entire galaxy. Stars, planets, and ships floated in midair, each marked with glowing symbols. Alex's heart raced as they realized what they were seeing. This was no ordinary map. It was a map of the galaxy's hidden powers, of the secret forces that had shaped everything, from the rise and fall of civilizations to the flow of cosmic energy itself. In the center of the map, an image began to take shape, an enormous swirling mass of energy, unlike anything Alex had ever seen. It was a black hole, but it didn't behave like any black hole they knew. This one seemed to pull at the very fabric of space and time, distorting reality around it. And at its core, something glowed, a tiny, brilliant spark of light. "This is the heart of the galaxy," the keeper said, its voice low and filled with reverence. "The source of all power. If the Zhiks take control of it, they will have the power to reshape everything, to bend the very laws of the universe to their will. They would become unstoppable. But if you can unlock the full potential of the puzzle, you can stop them. You can save everything." Alex stared at the holographic map, their mind racing. They had come so far, and yet it felt like they had only just begun. The path ahead was clear. Alex needed to unlock the full power of the puzzle before the Zhiks could get their hands on it. But now, the stakes were higher than ever. The galaxy's future depended on Alex's next move. Just then, the hum of the temple's power began to grow louder, and Alex's heart sank. The Zhiks were close. They had found the temple. "You must solve the puzzle quickly," the keeper urged. "The Zhiks will stop at nothing to destroy you and take the puzzle. But I believe in you, child of Earth. The galaxy is counting on you." Alex turned toward the glowing map and the swirling black hole at its center, determination hardening their resolve. The final piece of the puzzle had been revealed, but now it was up to them to unlock it. As the ground trembled and the temple's lights flickered, Alex knew one thing for certain. There was no turning back. The final chapter of this adventure was about to begin, and the galaxy's fate rested on the choices Alex would make. The Zhiks' wrath. The air inside the Temple of Light buzzed with energy as Alex stood before the holographic map of the galaxy. The enormity of what lay ahead hit them like a shockwave. The fate of everything, every living being, every star, and every planet, was now in their hands. The keeper's voice reverberated in their mind, urging them to act fast. The Zhiks were already on their way. Alex turned to the keeper. "How do I unlock it? How do I stop them?" The keeper's glowing eyes met Alex's. "The puzzle is not a simple object. It is a connection to the very fabric of space and time. To unlock it fully, you must complete the final sequence. The map you see, the path to the core of the galaxy, is the key. You must align the energies of the galaxies in harmony. Only then can you access the core's power." Alex's mind raced. Align the energies of the galaxies? How was that even possible? But there was no time to doubt. The ground beneath them shook again, the tremor stronger this time. The Zhiks were closing in. Alex could feel the urgency tightening around their chest, a pressure to act before it was too late. With trembling hands, Alex reached out to touch the glowing map. The moment their fingers made contact with the display, the map flared to life. The stars and planets shifted, and glowing threads of light connected the various celestial bodies, forming an intricate web. Alex's heart skipped a beat as they realized that each thread represented a key point in the puzzle, the path they had to follow. The keeper stepped forward. You must connect the threads in the correct order. Each path leads to a piece of the puzzle's final form. Only when the entire web is complete will the puzzle open the way to the galaxy's heart. But be warned, the Zhiks will stop at nothing to prevent you from succeeding. They will attack, and they will not give you another chance. Alex swallowed hard. The weight of the task before them felt like a mountain pressing on their shoulders. But they couldn't falter. The Zhiks were ruthless, and they would destroy everything if they got their hands on the puzzle. They had no choice but to continue. Alex took a deep breath and moved their hand over the map. The glowing threads seemed to respond to their touch, shifting slightly as they traced their fingers across the holographic paths. A deep hum filled the temple as the first thread connected. It was like a ripple in the fabric of space itself, a brief moment of perfect alignment. Alex quickly moved to the next thread, following the pattern the keeper had described. As they worked, the threads of light began to glow brighter, forming a more cohesive web. But the air was thick with tension. Alex knew the Zhiks were coming. They could feel their presence. The hum of the map became louder, as if warning them of the danger that lurked just beyond the temple walls. Suddenly, the ground trembled violently, sending Alex stumbling back. The door to the temple slammed shut with a deafening crash. The keeper's voice was urgent now, its tone filled with warning. They are here. They have arrived. Alex looked toward the door, but it was too late. The Zhiks had already breached the temple's outer defenses. Alex could hear the sound of their ships, powerful and unforgiving, crashing through the atmosphere. The sound of metal scraping against stone echoed through the temple as the Zhiks' forces made their way inside. We have to finish this, Alex muttered, their heart pounding in their chest. They couldn't afford to stop now. With renewed focus, Alex continued to trace the threads of the map, connecting them one by one. As each connection was made, the glow of the map grew brighter, more powerful. The hum of the temple turned into a steady, rhythmic pulse, a heartbeat that matched their own. It was as though the galaxy itself was watching them, waiting for them to succeed. The door to the temple's inner sanctum exploded open, and the first wave of Zhik soldiers stormed in. They were tall and menacing, their dark armor gleaming in the dim light. Their eyes were cold, and their weapons hummed with deadly energy. Alex's breath caught in their throat. They were surrounded. There was no time left. The keeper turned, its massive form moving to shield Alex and their family. I will hold them off, the keeper said, its voice filled with both strength and sadness. You must finish what you started. The puzzle is nearly complete. Do not let them stop you now. Alex's hands shook as they continued to connect the final threads. The Zhiks were drawing closer, but Alex had no choice but to trust in the keeper's words. They had to finish the puzzle. It was the only way to save everything. As the last thread clicked into place, a blinding light erupted from the map. The entire temple shook, and the Zhik soldiers were thrown back by the force of the energy. The walls of the temple pulsed with light as the map transformed before Alex's eyes. The core of the galaxy, the swirling black hole at its center, now seemed to come alive with energy. A powerful wave of cosmic force radiated outward, and Alex felt it deep within their very bones. It was working. The final sequence had been completed. But just as Alex thought they had succeeded, a voice pierced through the chaos, a voice that sent a chill down their spine. You think you can defeat us? You think this little child can save the galaxy? The voice was cold and cruel, emanating from a dark figure that appeared in the doorway. The leader of the Zhiks had arrived. Alex's eyes widened. This was no ordinary soldier. This was the Zhik's commander, a being of pure malice, with eyes that burned like twin suns. The final battle had just begun. The final confrontation. The temple was shaking, its ancient stones trembling, as though the very foundations of the galaxy were in turmoil. Alex could feel the pulse of the map, the final pieces of the puzzle clicking into place. But now there was no time to celebrate. The Zix commander was here, and the threat to everything they had worked for had never been more real. The Zix commander stood in the doorway, his cold, calculating eyes fixed on Alex. He was tall and imposing, his armor dark and reflective, like a shadow come to life. His presence seemed to suck the very air out of the room, leaving Alex feeling smaller and more vulnerable than ever. But Alex knew that this was the moment they had trained for, the moment they had been pushed toward since the beginning of their journey. The Zix commander spoke, his voice deep and filled with disdain. "You think a mere human child can stop us? You are nothing in the grand scheme of the galaxy. Your kind is weak, and the power you seek will belong to us. The puzzle will be ours, and your galaxy will fall." Alex's heart pounded in their chest, but they stood tall. The puzzle, now complete, hummed with energy, and the holographic map seemed to shimmer in response to the commander's taunts. This was the turning point. The galaxy's fate rested on the ability to stop the Zix, and Alex was the only one who could. The Keeper had said it would take more than just solving the puzzle. It would take strength, courage, and the will to fight. Alex wasn't sure if they were ready, but there was no choice now. They had come too far, and the stakes were too high. The Zix had already destroyed so many, and Alex couldn't let them take the galaxy. In a flash, the commander raised his weapon, a long, sleek staff that crackled with energy. The room lit up with an eerie green glow, and the air felt heavy with the power he controlled. Alex felt a cold sweat break out across their brow, but they couldn't hesitate. The Keeper was no longer there to protect them. They were on their own. As the commander advanced, Alex reached into their pocket, feeling the final puzzle piece pulse in their hand. They had one chance. They couldn't fail. The glowing crystal on the altar was the last piece of the galaxy's power. If they could unlock it fully, they could stop the commander and the Zix once and for all. With a steady breath, Alex stepped forward. "I won't let you win," they said, their voice surprisingly steady for someone facing down an entire army. The Zix commander scoffed, clearly not impressed. But Alex didn't care about his mockery. They knew what needed to be done. The final key was within their grasp, and they were determined to unlock it. The Zix commander lunged, his staff crackling with energy as it shot a powerful beam toward Alex. Without thinking, Alex raised their hand, the glowing puzzle piece shining in their palm. In that instant, a beam of pure light shot from the puzzle piece, meeting the Zix commander's attack. The two forces collided, creating a blinding explosion of energy that sent shockwaves through the temple. For a moment, everything was silent. The light from the puzzle piece illuminated the entire room, and the air was thick with power. Alex's mind raced. Was it enough? Had they stopped the commander? But then, through the haze, the figure of the Zix commander emerged, his face twisted with fury. "You think you can defeat me?" he roared. The energy from his weapon surged once more powerful than before. But Alex was ready. They stepped forward, feeling the energy of the puzzle coursing through their body. The final sequence had been unlocked. The galaxy's heart was now open. The ground beneath them rumbled again, but this time it was different. The very fabric of space seemed to ripple, bending and shifting in response to the power of the puzzle. The map on the altar expanded, and Alex saw the Zix commander's attack weaken as the power of the galaxy's core began to flood the temple. With one last surge of energy, Alex thrust their hand forward, directing the power from the puzzle piece straight at the Zix commander. The blast was unstoppable. It slammed into the commander with the force of a supernova, sending him crashing against the stone walls of the temple. The Zix commander let out a terrible cry of defeat as the energy overwhelmed him, his form disintegrating into nothingness. The room went silent. Alex stood, breathing heavily, their hands still extended in front of them. The power of the puzzle had worked. The galaxy was safe. For now. But as Alex looked around the temple, They knew this was only one battle in an endless war. The Shiks were far from defeated, and there would be more threats to face. But for the moment, Alex had done what no one else could. They had unlocked the greatest puzzle in the galaxy and saved the future. With the puzzle's energy still swirling in the air, Alex turned toward their parents. They had made it. They had survived. Together, they had saved everything. But Alex also knew that their journey was far from over. The galaxy was vast, and there were more mysteries to uncover, and with the power they had unlocked, Alex was ready for whatever came next. As they left the Temple of Light, the map's energy fading into the distance, one thing was certain: the galaxy would never forget the human child who solved the greatest puzzle in the universe. And as long as there was life in the stars, Alex's story would continue.